All right, I'm gonna dye my, these are my door stops for the Cobra. I'm gonna take these mounts out. Kind of taking them out a little early. Don't need to take them out just yet, but get them out here. All right. I'm gonna dye these black. This is some really nice looking leather, but I'm gonna go ahead and dye it black so it matches everything else in my interior. But in order to do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix vinegar with steel wool. Well, this is some steel wool I had left over from that I used to blue one of my rifles. So to begin with, I'm gonna clean up the steel wool because steel wool is supposed to have some oil in it to keep it from rusting too quickly. Still got a little bit of the bluing material on this one. So put some alcohol in there. 91%. This should take off any oil. Since it's alcohol, it should dry pretty quick. Although I did douse it pretty well. Mason jar, vinegar, all right, so it's dried out. So all I did was just kind of pull it apart, spread it out to help it dry out. So now I'm going to put it in this jar, keeping it as loose as possible, but it's got to fit in here. Might be too much in there, but oh well. So what's going to happen is the vinegar is going to break down the steel, and it's going to make it's called Vinegaroon. I first heard about this from I believe his name is Fred on IE 427, and I think a few other guys have done it for their Cobras, the door stops, just to dye the leather. Now, I've dyed leather before with just leather dye, but that was years ago when I was in Boy Scouts, so I don't have any more of that left. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make the Vinegaroon since I actually have vinegar and I have steel wool here. So I'll just use what I have. So this process takes about a week. So I put a little bit more vinegar and probably have an update tomorrow. I'll let you know how it goes. But that's it so far. It's fairly full. See how it works. I'll take this plastic bag that the steel wool came in. It's got a hole at the top. Slide that on there. See you in a week. Okay, so these mount on the door right here, and they go around to mount back here to stop the door from opening too far and damaging the body. So they're door stops. They just stop the door from going too far. Okay, just overnight, and ran over a little bit. All I did was take this piece of plastic and put it over the top. It's rusting a little bit right there. Which that's part of the process, is the rusting and the dissolving. But yeah, ran over a little bit. I may need to put this in a bigger mason jar. I just thought that'd probably be enough. Didn't explode or anything, it just kind of ran over. Oh well, I'm gonna put this in a bigger mason jar. Alright, so I got this mason jar here. Probably gonna make a mess here doing this with one hand, but we'll find out. Look at that. Great, I'm not gonna get it out of there. And I'll mess around and get my hand caught in here, so I'm gonna do this. Alright, so I got it in a bigger mason jar. It doesn't have nearly enough vinegar in there now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some more vinegar in. I have noticed that the steel wool is rusting already. I imagine that's the reason why it overflowed. It's probably boiling over. So I'm not going to seal this on because I know there's some chemical reaction going on, but I'm just going to leave it on just like that. Actually, I'm going to do this to make sure it doesn't get sealed. But do it this way since it is dissolving metal. So, stick that back in that spot. Alright, so it's been a week. This is the Vinegaroon, as it's called. It's been a week. Got a little bit left. A little bit of the stainless steel, or a little bit of the steel wool left here. That's all that's left. Kind of chunky. I'm gonna filter out some of the thick stuff. It doesn't look black. It looks brown. I'm gonna assume that that means it doesn't have enough steel in it. That's all the steel that was at the bottom. So I'm gonna go rinse this out, pour it all in here. All right, just rinse this jar out. Alright, so if this doesn't dye it as black as I want, what I'm going to do is just take it and use some leather dye on it. So here's my leather piece. All I did was slide these out. So I'm going to dip it. Flip it. Looks like it's doing a pretty good job. It's creeping in everywhere. It looks black to me. Leave it in there a second. It looks like muddy water. my wife just came up with a good idea. She said, why don't you put the lid on it and shake it up? It's a very good idea. Oh, it's nice and black. See, let it dry, do another coat. You can speak up. I know I gotta rinse it out because it'll eat the leather. So far it looks really good. I like seeing the stitches in it. Quite a difference. As soon as it touches the leather, it starts working on it. Just that quick. Just that quick. Yeah, the rust is showing up on here too. It looks like the rust is showing up and makes it look brown, but when the rust goes away, it's black. Alright. Oh, they're black. I'm going to rinse them out. We'll rinse them out so that it doesn't continue to eat the leather. Alright, so I just rinsed them off with cold water and rinsed off the rust, and they're not brown, they're black. They look really good. I do like the tan stitching that's left behind. That's kind of neat. I planned on just using leather tanning dye or just shoe polish. I have tons of Black Parade finish shoe polish that I use for work, so figured I'd just use that. But nah, this Vinegaroon worked really good. So as soon as this dries, I will go over it with some Needs foot oil. I have a whole bunch left over from that I do my saddlebags and my leather jackets and stuff. And so yeah, the only thing left now is to give it a taste. It smells a little fishy, really, but let's see what it tastes like.
Spicy.
I'm kidding. I did not drink it. It's disgusting. It's probably poison. It's white vinegar and steel wool, so it can't be good for you. But did a pretty good job, I think. So one step further. All right, got some mink oil, not needs foot oil. I think I said needs foot oil in the last video. That, and I still have some leather dressing for my saddlebags. But mink oil is what I normally use on everything, leather that is. And I've already got it on this one. But they're completely dry. It's the next day. I've taken them out, put them in the sun for a little while. They're really dry. So, just gonna go over it with the mink oil. I've already went over it with this one. Once I completely coat it along the edges and everything, so it can really suck it up into the leather, I'm just gonna go hang them back on the wall where I had them to begin with the rest of the parts to do to the car. And once everything's done, I can put the rest of it together and add these. These will probably be the last things that I do. But I had time, figured I'd get them out of the way.